Halo, halo? Halo, halo? Witam wszystkich bardzo serdecznie. Dobra, teraz jaki poziom trudności? Średni czy najwyższy? Vampyrka.
12 dreams for the Red Queen under crown of stone. 8 voracious beasts born from 8 restless nights. 4 nails piercing the flesh of the sinner. 1 prayer for the summoned, called by this song. 'Tis perhaps the countdown to oblivion for the once proud city of London. 'Tis perchance her inhabitants' last dance alone to face death and pestilence. Confronted by the eerie and unknown, mortals became desperate for answers. A flock's flight makes for an omen, the falling of a star a dire presage. Turning to priests for interpretation when there was no reason to be found. When religion failed, men turned to science. I saw them build such vain cities, crafting machines made for endless war. New questions flourished as old answers withered. What is darkness but lurking sun? What is wall but enslaved stone? What is glass but tortured sand? What is song but a call to arms? What is hate but jilted love? What is life but death pending?
Death. Since the apple was plucked from the sacred tree, mortality was believed to be God's punishment, a righteous snare to keep mankind from ascending to the stars. They were all so wrong. Death is not a wicked thing, nor some holy retribution. A true punishment would be to never know its sweet kiss. Awaken from the harshness and be born once more.
To lecimy. Śladami krwi.
Thirsty. So thirsty.
My sweet brother. What have you done?
Mary! Oh, no! Mary! Hold on! Please, hold on! Oh, God. Oh, no. This horror. It's a nightmare. No! Please, a moment, let me explain! These patrols are after me. No! No! Don't shoot! This is a nightmare. I need to get out of here. This can't be happening. Over there! There's one of them. No! Please, stop! I mean you no harm. Fire! What's going on? Oh, Mary. What have I done? What's all this about?
Has it fled? Shit, where'd it go?
Now, I can defend myself.
Tricky bastard.
Kill the thing! Who are you? Stay back!
Don't let it out to your sons!
Sorry, but you left me no choice. Who are you? Stupid beast!
That's what you do!
Sorry. No, please, stop! Who are you? Christ, he's dead! What do you want? I mean you no harm. I need help. Die, you fucking leech! Please, listen to me. I can't make any sense of this. Shut up, beast! Who are you? What is this all about? What in God's... That'll do the rest of the job. Just leave me. The sun. It feels like it's burning me to the bone. I need to find somewhere to hide. I cannot enter. Let me go! I need to find shelter. Is anybody there? What is this place? The place seems abandoned. I should be safe enough here. I'm sorry. Whoever did this to us, I will find them.
Wait. This one's dressed up fancy. Let's run through his pockets.
Picking the dead's pockets? Are you serious?
I've still a rent to pay. He's got no more responsibilities. What's this? Gold watch.
Beautiful it is. We fancy it and share the takings. I suppose we are undertakers. Now, give him an Eve. That's impossible.
Dreams for the Red Queen that sleeps under crown of stone, that she might linger longer, her eyes as white as wool.
Who goes there?
A prayer summoned by warrior song. A child born from darkness must take scent of his power.
Who's there? Are you referring to me? No! No! I still have so much to accomplish. I still have so much left that needs doing.
Johnny, this one's lost. We need to leave. And now!
No! There's time. I can save him.
That's the enemy coming! The orders are to evacuate the hospital!
Done. He'll live.
And now what?
We fight. Killing is a hell of a lot easier than healing. No, it never got easy.
Czyżby COVID-19?
None of it. No sense at all. It's a nightmare. That's it. So be it. Rational thinking only. This is absolute madness. I've lost touch with the real.
Madness it is, as mad as the moon, who changes blinding sunlight into a glowing reflection.
Gdzie sam siebie zjadł?
Voice in my head. If I'm not mad, then it must belong to the one who made me
Kwarantanna,
what
oczywiście.
I am. I must find him to understand what I have become.
Chyba to lecimy na dół.
These people want me dead. I need to leave now.
Here's the leech. Here! My head's spinning.
Oi! Come out, you coward!
It's locked.
Clever fucking beasts.
I'm still in Southwark. I must reach the West End. Go back home.
Die, vermin!
It's locked, all right.
Look out! Vicious fire!
This should be possible. I see every fiber of my being is afire. My strength, my reflexes. I'm not human anymore. My poor sister. If only I had controlled my need for blood. Mary, someone will pay for what happened to you. For what happened to us. It's locked, all right. The dizziness from the jump. I can now control it.
Gdzie by teraz tu iść?
What will London have to say to me? It's locked, all right. I've so many questions unanswered. very streets of London become a mausoleum. The man has been drained of all blood, but I can still smell the scent of it. I follow the scent's trail. Perhaps it will lead me to my assailant. Fresh blood. The smell is so strong. Where has everyone gone? According to the blood patterns, that's where the victim was attacked. So that must be the killer's trail. At last, a little life.
Welcome, sir, to the Turquoise Turtle.
Whoever he may be, the killer recently entered. Good evening, sir. I wondered if I could ask for your help.
Wow, you look like you need a drink.
Yes. I apologize for my outfit. It's been a long night.
Been there, seen that. Don't worry, things can only get worse.
Has anybody entered the bar recently?
Can't say. Sorry. I spent the night making love to that gorgeous bottle, see?
This is important, sir. Are you sure no one has come in here in the last few hours?
I don't know and I don't care. This is a free country. People still have the right to come and go, don't they?
No, już nie.
What's going on around here? It's like everybody is hiding.
You must be new here. Have you not heard about the murders? Everybody fears the return of the sewer dog.
You make it sound like it's a fairy tale.
People will always believe in monsters. It's easier than accepting their own darkness.
Who is this sewer dog?
It's a local bogeyman. Convenient answer for every crime that happened for decades.
Who is...
It's a local bogeyman.
I'll leave you to your bottle then.
I hope I
boot boys get what's coming to them.
My God, sir, you look like Jonah's whale just spat you out of hell. Can I get you a drink?
No, thank you. I'm not thirsty.
Well, grab a chair and get some rest. This is going to be another long night.
Why is it going to be a long night?
You must be new around here. Don't you know about the murders?
Tell me more about these murders.
Every morning for the last few weeks, bodies have been found. And those poor sods didn't die of flu.
Do the police have any leads on a suspect?
Even before the outbreak, coppers never came round here. We're on our own. People die in these parts all the time.
Jest epidemia, maseczek brakuje, ale co to ma być?
Where am I? Where is this place?
You're at my bar, sir, the Turquoise Turtle. The last ray of light in this dangerous part of town.
Aren't you scared?
Scared of what? All the bad shit happens out on the foggy streets. And I never go outside.
So you're open?
Yep. Figured people might need a...
I'm looking for someone who might have passed through here recently.
It's been quiet tonight. The only
You mean he's still here?
Well, yeah. He paid for the entire week.
How long has he been here?
He rented the room a few days ago and didn't say when he'd leave.
Who is this man? What does he look like?
Well, like a gentleman, I guess. Well-dressed, quite polite. A professor or something fancy like that. Always writing, reading.
I need to meet this man. I have...
Just climb the stairs and knock on the first door. I heard him open it.
Yes?
No funny business. You hear me? This is a respect...
Szanowany lokal, okej.
Are they stupid or something? I've never even been to India. Hello, sir. Are you all right? Is there any way I can help you?
I don't know. Maybe you could just talk to me.
Maybe you prefer to speak with Tom then. He's...
What is this place?
This is Tom's bar, the Turquoise Turtle.
Are you always open this late at night?
No, it's only since the epidemic started. Tom thought that people may need a safe place to stay.
You don't seem
To
to
nie
have
za
much
epidemia.
business.
Zero
Where is everybody?
lockdownów,
Most
zero
people are
kwarantanny
sleeping right now.
praktycznie.
And those that are awake tend to avoid going out. What with the murders and...
Brak maseczek, co to jest?
What's going on around here? Where is everyone?
Too many dead, sir. First the epidemic, and now all these terrible murders.
The murders. What can you say about them?
Bodies found in the streets every morning. Drained of blood. It's just horrible. Some say the sewer dog is back.
The sewer dog. What's that?
No one knows. People have always disappeared around these parts. The ancients say it's the sewer dog coming out to feed. But now he's killing in the streets.
What have you heard about the epidemic?
There's a Spanish flu. Yeah. Killed so many last summer. Thought we'd seen the last of it. Dozens dying every week.
Are the authorities doing anything?
Nothing. There are so many quarantine zones in London now. It's gotten really hard to travel across town.
I just want to talk. I didn't mean to scare you.
I'm not afraid, sir. It's just I've other customers to take care of.
I only see one customer.
Oh. Well, yeah, of course. I mean, I best check on them.
I'll leave then. Thank you.
This is no place for you. Prewen has several patrols roaming the area.
They do not pursue me.
But they're looking for vampires, and they're most efficient.
They'll not relent until the killer has been identified.
I have a common objective, but I require...
I think someone is eavesdropping.
Are you certain? You might as well come in, whoever you are.
Slowly, vampire. Who are you?
I mean you no harm.
Saith the vampire. Present yourself.
I need
fuck?
a word. Anyone.
Well, that's something I can do for you. And who might you be?
Ciężki wybór.
I'm not sure that I know anymore.
Might I at least learn the reason of your presence?
That's none of your concern.
Sir, you have entered my room in the middle of the night, pale as a corpse and shaking like a tree. So please, indulge me.
Someone is molesting people. In fact, killing them. Biting them.
The calling card of a vampire. Like you.
I've been hunted down in the streets and attacked. I'm a victim here, too.
I believe you.
Then if you are not a vampire, who or what are you?
Dr. Edgar Swansea of the Brotherhood of St. Paul. I'm performing an independent investigation here in an attempt to understand precisely what is going on.
And what exactly is this Brotherhood?
Sir, if the name is not familiar to you, then we shall discuss it another time.
What have you uncovered concerning the murders?
It started a few nights ago. Rumors of violent murders. The docks have always been, shall we say, somewhat unsavory. But this is different.
How different?
A vampire is at work here. Famished. Reckless. It must be brought to ground, and quickly.
I heard another voice, that of a woman. Who were you talking to?
Ridiculous. I've no idea what you're talking about.
Something tells me not to trust you.
Then the feeling is mutual.
Then help me find the culprit.
I may. If you'll first tell me why you opened this door.
I followed a trail. The scent of blood from a recent victim. It led me here.
You thought I was your aggressor? That explains a great deal. We're both chasing the same shadow.
A shadow, indeed. Yet I heard his voice in my head. There was a moment I believed I was mad.
You should let me handle this affair. You've no idea what you're up against.
No. I will find the monster. He is mine.
How will you do any better than I? But then let me ask you this. What are your intentions if you find the killer?
I will at last have the answers to my questions.
Then I can only wish you good hunting. And pray we shall meet again.
To chyba nie ten gość.
I'm certain we shall meet again.
cannot enter.
Not long ago, this sort of mess would have given me a laugh.
Can I have some privacy, please?
If Swansea is not my attacker, it means somebody else came here tonight. Someone must know something.
Damn it.
Welcome back.
I can't say I have.
Hey, I told you, you were the only other stranger I've had.
Goodbye, Miss...
You again.
Goodbye, Miss... Hello, sir.
And you're still ugly as sin.
I'll leave... It's locked, all right.
Evening, sir.
I have a few... I spoke to Dr. Swansea. He's not the man I'm looking for. Now, I want the truth.
The truth? What do you mean?
I suspect that someone else was here tonight, and I don't think Tom wants to tell me about it.
I'm just the barmaid here, okay? If Tom says you're the only visitor...
I can feel your fear, madam. Please, tell me what's going on.
It's Will. William Bishop. He came in here earlier tonight and he... Well, I thought he was going to clock someone.
What happened tonight?
He was dead drunk, as usual. But my God, his eyes. His face. He must have caught something awful. He shouted and cried. It was terrible.
Why are you so afraid?
I mean, his skin. His hands. I scrubbed every glass and every chair that he touched. God, I hope it's not contagious.
Tell me about this William Bishop.
Will was a sailor who worked at the canning factory before he lost that job. A nice bloke, really. He's never been violent. Until tonight.
Why keep it a secret? Why not tell me about it?
Tom's nothing if not loyal. After Will lost his job, he offered him one ear. They used to be good mates. But recently, well... Will started to get very aggressive.
I see. Thank you for your candor. I'll be sure to talk to Tom.
There's gotta be something can be done to get out of this bullshit mess. No?
You again. What can I do for you?
Tom, talk to me about the visit from your old friend, William.
Yes, Will came by tonight, but he's not my friend anymore.
Why lie to me if he is not your friend?
I didn't lie. I said you were my only unannounced customer, and that's the truth.
Who is he?
William. Just an old sailor who loves his gin too much. He worked for years at the canning factory before it closed.
Is he dangerous?
Yeah. Like many drunks, he's all bark and no bite. He can barely stand up most of the time.
How was he tonight? Was he different?
Sicker than usual, perhaps. He whined and mumbled about how mean people were to him and how he'd like to talk to me outside, and then he left when I refused.
I need to find him. It's a matter of urgency. Do you know where he is?
You could try his boat. It's up by the North Pier. He sleeps there when he's too drunk to get home.
Please describe him to me.
What'd you expect? He's a tall, sick bastard with a bad rash and torn old clothes. William used to be strong. Now he's a mess.
Thank you, Tom.
If you see him, tell him I don't want him back here unless he cleans up his act, okay?
He didn't deserve this.
I'm occupied presently.
You best talk to Tom.
Hello, sir. May I...
And you're still ugly as sin.
I'll leave... It's locked. It's locked, all right.
Would you be so kind as to leave the room?
He didn't deserve this.
Not long ago, this mess would have given me a laugh.
Stupid or something.
I will get to the bottom of this intrigue. What's been done to me, to this city. The body is still warm. This man has just been drained of blood. This corpse has been dried of its blood. What's this? These men, they're a company of professional vampire hunters. This man was armed. He tried to defend. Blood and empty gin bottles. This bishop fellow is something of a heavy drinker. There are blood splats on the other side of the canal. I must reach that barge. I cannot enter.
You ever know McCullum to be wrong about it? Right. This is not a place for you, sir. Over there! There's one of them birds! Watch yourselves! There's one of them!
All of your bloody leeches need killing! Go back home, idiot! Kill it!
It's locked.
Over there! It's one of them vermin!
I can't believe I'm doing this. I cannot enter. Fresh blood. The whole building reeks of it. The scent is so strong it makes me dizzy.
I'll not betray your trust. Is this first, you see? I'll need a drink. I'm so thirsty. Leave it to me, William. As one, we shall overcome this. We've done it before.
It's locked. This place reeks of bloodshed.
William, please stop. Just a sip, I promise. You are my dearest friend. You're my last and dearest friend.
This creature is bedeviled. I must put it down.
I po wampirku.
William, please. William was an honorable man. I could have saved him.
Mr. Hampton, are you in there?
I knew him well, another lost soul, a kindred spirit.
Sir, listen to the sound of my voice. I'm a doctor. You're suffering from shock.
I must return to my flock. They'll stray without me.
Remember, certain skulls are every bit as resistant as we are.
Who are you? What do you mean by Skal?
You truly are a newborn. I should have realized.
Wait. You are the woman from the bar. Are you... like me? Can you help me?
I believe, sir, I already have.
By George and the Saints, you've solved the mystery of these terrible murders. Patience, good fellows, I've come to offer help. Just give me a moment to secure my boat. We can leave this awful place.
William was not the evil man they claimed. He was just taken by the thirst. He needed his drink.
This man requires medical attention. We'll see he gets to the nearest hospital.
No, please, I must tend to my fold. My flock needs me.
There, sir. Go with the good Dr. Swansea. He's resourceful, and I'm sure he'll take good care of you.
You'd best come as well. The sun is soon to rise, and you'll need a place to rest.
I just need a moment. If I can learn something about what has happened to William, I'll be a step closer to understanding what happened to me. This poor creature can't be my maker. Could it be some subspecies of vampire? I must find a place to analyze the blood. It's locked, all right.
Czyli już niby eksplorujemy, ja pierdzielę.
Where are we headed?
We're on our way to the Pembroke Hospital. It's just across the canal. They'll have a bed for poor Mr. Hampton.
William was... What manner of creature was he?
Predator, prey, villain, and victim. Who can say? The important thing is that he's been stopped.
Duly noted. And the woman? What... who is she?
What woman?
Oh, don't play me for a fool. You used me to locate that skull. You must know who she is.
And I thought you a gentleman. You shouldn't talk about a lady behind her back, but I will tell you she values her privacy. Were London as peaceful as she appears from the middle of the canal? If only that were the reality of the situation.
To be honest, I've always tried to avoid this part of town.
Pembroke Hospital is the last bastion between the rest of London and the epidemic. The flu has decimated the East End and the war still rages. Welcome to the front lines of a plague.
This is where you work, Dr. Swansea?
I am the administrator of Pembroke Hospital.
I thought you were here in service of your mysterious order, the Brotherhood of...
Of St. Paul's Stone, yes. But first and foremost, I'm a man of science. A physician, like yourself, Dr. Reed.
How do you know who I am?
No need for modesty. You are Dr. Jonathan Reed, a surgeon of some caliber and renown, if I'm not mistaken.
You are correct, sir.
I knew it! I had my suspicions. But when you took the blood sample from the corpse of poor William, I was certain. Dr. Reed. Marvelous.
Have we met?
I attended 3 of your seminars before the war. I have the utmost admiration for your research. And what a turn of fate. England's most esteemed blood specialist returns to London a vampire.
That word, again. From a so-called man of science.
I understand. Traditionally, the role of science is to refute myth, but when myth walks among us, the Brotherhood of St. Paul has dedicated its purpose to their study. There's so much for you to learn.
Of that, you are right.
Well, then let me be blunt. Join my staff at Pembroke Hospital. As a physician. I suspect you'll not find a better post of employment to contemplate your predicament.
This is sudden. I was returning home to see my sickly mother. But alas, that was before contracting this... affliction.
Dr. Reed, take a moment to consider. The post would be for the night shift, providing a good explanation for your absence during daylight hours. You'll be adequately reimbursed, and have a place to hide. I even had the forethought to bring some clean clothes. So, what do you say?
It seems I have little choice, but yours is a generous offer, so I thank you.
Brilliant! Oh, Jonathan, this is one for the book, and the beginning of a beautiful friendship.
Dr. Swansea, thank goodness. I was beginning to be concerned.
Worry no more, Nurse Crane, for I bring good news.
Oh, Doctor, what a night. We lost 2 more patients. Nurse Scow said she couldn't take it anymore and resigned.
Yes, well, I'll make a new rota in the morning. In the meantime, find a good bed for Mr. Hampton. Be sure to pay attention to his needs.
Of course, Doctor.
Oh, and Dorothy?
Yes, Doctor?
Dr. Reed here has just returned from the front. He served King and Country and will be joining us here at Pembroke. We're very lucky to have gained a surgeon of his talent, and one so experienced in blood transfusions.
That is good news indeed, Doctor.
Oh, yes. Here at Pembroke, it's not what we have, but what we haven't. It's only thanks to Nurse Crane and the staff that our ship doesn't sink. If you have any questions, just ask her.
Duly noted. Thank you.
Your assistance is required, Dr. Swansea, immediately.
Welcome aboard, Jonathan. We'll catch up after my rounds. Coming, Nurse Crane. I'm coming.
I cannot enter.
Come on, you bastard! You can do better than that! Nah, it's my turn!
Rotten autocracy. Each heart contains the seed of life. Drink at this river. Try it all.
Oh, come on, you bastard! I won't bite.
Sir, please. You've lost too much blood. Calm yourself.
You think I didn't notice? Stop your staring and get me to an hospital, you arse!
Insulting a good Samaritan. Not exactly the way to get rescued.
All right, sorry. I am in pain here. My guts are spilling out onto the street and you're yabbering on.
Yes. That's a very nasty wound you've got there. Take my word, I am a doctor. Dr. Jonathan Reed.
Name's Clay Cox. I'd appreciate you helping me to a better place, Doc.
Follow me, Mr. Cox. Let me assist you to that better place.
Bring this fading light into the shadows. Dance with him the dance of life and death.
No more. Not tonight. Not like this. I will not take another life.
A szpital? Halo? Nie go do szpitala zaprowadzić, co chodzi.
I feel giddy.
Okej.
It is wise for the huntsman to sometimes let his prey go, but no famished hunter can run for long.
No ten doktorek jest mega podejrzany. Jeszcze to bractwo.
Doctor, where have you been? I've little time to play hide and seek with new staff members, no matter how illustrious they may be.
I found a wounded man by the docks. He answers to the name of Clay Cox. He requires urgent medical attention.
Already making the rounds? That's the Pembroke spirit. I'll ask our porter, Milton, to bring him back immediately.
Thank you, nurse. What can I do for you?
Dr. Swansea insisted we provide you a quiet office. You'll find it on the second floor with your name on the door.
Thank you. Nurse Crane, isn't it?
Yes, Dorothy Crane. Welcome to Pembroke Hospital, Dr. Reed. Your office has been prepared.
I would like to ask a few questions first. If you could point me in the direction of my room again, nurse.
Second floor of the hospital, left after the stairs. It's the last vacant office at the end of the corridor.
What kind of man is Dr. Swansea?
Well, you accepted the job from him. I thought you would have known about your employer.
Apologies, I've only just met him the once. This is sudden. I've only just returned to England.
Dr. Swansea is a brilliant surgeon and the most compassionate physician.
It's right to assume Dr. Swansea knows far more about me than I do about him.
You'll get to know him soon enough, and better than me. The administrator has better things to do than mix with us.
Thank you, Nurse Crane.
What can I do?
And Mr. Hampton, the patient we brought in.
I gave him a sedative to help him sleep. Poor thing was in quite a state.
Thank you.
Stop following me.
Good evening, nurse. I'm Dr. Jonathan Reed, the new surgeon here at the Pembroke.
Dr. Swansea has already told us about you, sir. I'm Nurse Gwyneth Brannigan. Welcome to the Pembroke Hospital.
Did he really? It's a good thing I wasn't hoping to keep a low profile.
All members of staff have already read about your new blood transfusion technique. Dr. Swansea made sure of that.
I see. Well, I'm a little surprised, but I suppose I'll just have to deal with this unexpected notoriety.
You must know, blood transfusions are Dr. Swansea's primary subject of research. He is convinced it is the future.
How are things here?
Not good, to say the least. We're struggling against an invisible enemy, more lethal than any bullet from a gun. It's hard, Doctor.
An invisible enemy?
Sorry, Doctor. These last few weeks have been exhausting.
Do you think this hospital can survive?
We are all volunteers here, and we're trying to...
I'm not familiar with all the staff yet. Perhaps you could help me.
Brilliant professionals. Most of them. Dr. Swansea has a gift for recruiting talent.
Most of them. Is there a problem I should know about, nurse?
It would be inappropriate for me to speak ill of a colleague.
Is there anyone that stands out?
Well, I have never met someone...
Why should his age be a problem?
I guess it's fair to say he's always pushing himself to the limits. He just doesn't know when to stop and get some rest.
Nurse Brannigan, if you do know something, please tell me. Anything you say will be helpful.
No. I may disagree with some conduct.
Do you require medical assistance, nurse?
Thank you for your concern, but I'm
Goodbye, nurse. Good evening, sir.
So it is true. The famous Dr. Reed has joined us. I can't...
Do we know each other?
Actually, yes. We met once before, at the Rockefeller University in New York.
Dr. Tippett, yes, I remember. I was assisting Professor Carell
Rockefeller.
in his research about coronary bypasses. He had nothing but praise for you.
He was also very confident about your future. And look at you now. Eminent surgeon and blood transfusion.
What is the Pembroke Hospital situation?
This hospital is not exactly the best of London.
I can't say I'm thrilled to be working here.
Don't be misled by appearances, Dr. Reed.
You're exhausting yourself, Corcoran. Maybe you should think about preserving your strength.
No. We must keep on healing all those poor souls. We are the last rampart before chaos. Once more...
You've nothing to prove, Dr. Tippett, to anybody.
I am perfectly fine, and I am not too old for this job.
What is the Pembroke Hospital situation?
This hospital is not exactly the best of London. I'm sure you are used to working in a better environment.
I can't say I'm thrilled to be working here.
Don't be misled by appearances, Dr. Reed.
What can you tell me?
Some are really good, and others are...
Tell me more about Cherished.
Nurse Brannigan is a pearl. She is the most helpful...
You really seem to admire her skills.
I'll go even further. If she was a man, she would be a damn fine practitioner.
Any opinion about the management?
I don't always agree with Dr. Swansea's reserve, but I must admit he does all he can to keep this facility running.
Ah, yes, the burden of command. I was fed up with this.
Don't get me wrong. Swansea's a good administrator. I just wish he would get out of his office now and again.
Goodbye, Dr. Swansea is right. This place seems perfect to conduct my research. Good evening, nurse.
Good evening, Doctor. I don't think we've been introduced yet. My name is Pippa Hawkins.
And I'm Dr. Jonathan Reed. Dr. Swan...
Well, it's a euphemism that your help will be appreciated, Doctor.
How would you describe the situation at the Pembroke Hospital?
It's serious. The flu is wreaking havoc amongst the staff and patients. We are running out of everything.
Nurse Hawkins, the Spanish flu won't last forever.
I wish I could believe you. But what if this epidemic...
You must get a hold of yourself, nurse.
Sorry, I'm exhausted. No one has any idea when this epidemic will be over.
How is the Pembroke staff coping with the epidemic?
Well, not well. Milton, the ambulance driver, is even more grumpy than usual. Especially...
Why is Milton grumpy?
Milton's not the kind of man who's bothered about a bad
Why does Milton dislike doctors?
Well, I don't know. Just ask him. But be warned. Milton is not the chatty type.
How long?
Well, long enough to see that the epidemic is winning. And no matter how qualified you are, don't tell me you'll change that.
You'd be surprised what dedication can achieve, Nurse Hawkins. In medicine, sometimes we're just a test result away from a miracle.
Sorry, Doctor.
Goodbye, Nurse Hawkins. Good evening, Doctor. I believe we're going to be working together.
Dr. Reed. Dr. Swansea informed us of your arrival, but I could not dare to believe we'd have such good fortune. Such an...
Thank you. And...
I am Thoreau Strickland. Dr. Thoreau Strickland. I'm a great admirer of your work, Dr. Reed.
What can you tell me about the Pembroke?
Well, it has always been an honor to work with Dr. Swansea. But with your arrival, I can't think of a better opportunity to learn about blood transfusion.
You seem quite optimistic. It's a rare and precious attitude in these difficult times.
I'm convinced that this epidemic is a test of endurance and dedication for us men of science.
Questions remain about our capacity to resolve the situation.
True. Last summer, during...
Do you need help with anything in particular?
Well, yes, maybe. I'm waiting for a batch of products I ordered for my personal research, yet my...
Do you want me to play the errand?
Oh, no, Dr. Reed. But if you went personally to his shop, what with your reputation...
I see. Well, give me the address. Please, could you tell me something about yourself?
I'm a great admirer of your work concerning blood transfusion, Dr. Reed. I run my...
What made you choose to be a doctor?
I'm not ashamed to admit you and your work have inspired me. I am honored to have the opportunity to work by your side.
It's always a pleasure to share scientific and...
This epidemic may be the century's most terrible disaster.
I based my technique on my mentor's research.
I'd rather not talk about it. For now, it's just theories and...
As long as you're cautious and methodical, you may remain...
You're not the first one to warn me. But I am convinced knowledge...
Goodbye, Doctor. Good evening, sir. I'm Dr. Reed. May I help you?
I don't know if a third opinion is needed. Your colleagues are already arguing about my condition.
I see. Would you...
I'm Harvey Fiddick. All I want is to get me bloody arm fixed properly.
Tell me about yourself, Mr. Fiddick.
I'm just a regular guy waiting to get his arm fixed, so I can return to work. And
I was more curious about what you were doing before being hospitalized.
I'm a carpenter, and a good one too. But that means I need both up.
Are you satisfied with your treatment here?
Well, it's clear that I've chosen a bad time to be injured. Forgive my bluntness, But you seem overwhelmed by cases of the flu.
I won't lie to you about it. I'm afraid we are.
Are you sure you don't want to operate yourself, Dr. Reed? I have the feeling you're very capable. And your colleagues seem to think so.
In other circumstances, you would be right. But for now... Tell me about the doctors who are arguing.
Strickland and Aykroyd. They both want...
What do you mean?
I often had professional arguments with rivals on a building site. Difference is, I disagreed about wooden nails, not flesh and bones.
Goodbye for now.
You always knew the words to calm the children, Helen. As for me, what a blundering idiot.
Good evening, sir. I'm Dr. Reed. I believe we're going to be colleagues.
Reed? Yes, I've been informed about your arrival. I'm Waverly...
Does my arrival inconvenience you in some way, Dr. Aykroyd?
Let us just say that I don't particularly share Dr. Swansea's enthusiasm for hiring you. What we need here are reliable...
If you have a problem with me, Dr. Aykroyd, please feel...
Dr. Swansea has imposed your presence on this...
I know we've never met before, but I believe this hospital could use all the help it can get. You will agree with that.
Oh, but I have heard about you, Dr. Reed. Of course, you can't say the same about me, since I have not wasted my time courting the press.
There is no need for such animosity between us. Don't you think the epidemic is already enough to deal with?
That is one point we could agree on. And that is precisely why I want to be sure that you will be of help to this hospital, instead of a burden.
Since your tenure in this hospital is longer than mine, perhaps you can tell me more about this place.
Let's just say I'm tired of the carelessness of...
Carelessness? Exactly.
We're here to save lives. The people who trust us and...
I don't intend to run any radical
Modern medical methods were created through audacity.
Tell me, Waverly, what do you think?
Strickland is playing with his patients' lives for pride and glory.
Are you thinking about something in particular?
Harvey Fiddick needs delicate surgery. I believe we should stick to the usual procedure, but my young colleague obviously disagrees.
Why do you wish to lead?
I strongly believe that Mr. Fiddick should not be butchered to test an unproven procedure.
I really hope you're right about this, Dr. Aykroyd.
I'm not the kind of man who runs away from his responsibilities.
And are you not afraid that your rivalry...
Rivalry? I guess you could call it that. But I will never be child...
I don't know what you've heard about me, but I have already...
I don't question your skills, Dr. Reed, but your motive. Is it money? Fame? Or are you...
And what exactly is that supposed to mean?
I served in the war just like you. But unlike you, I did not use the wounded to play the modern sorcerer.
Be careful what you insinuate, Dr. Aykroyd.
I only want you to admit you used those men to improve your theories.
Knowledge has always been and will remain our main weapon. And it has always come at a price. And personal initiative.
It is not a question of initiative, it is a question of integrity. These men and women have put their faith in us.
It seems you have bad memories of your military service.
I refuse to see this industrial slaughter as scientific progress. War only reveals the worst in men.
We can at least agree on something, Dr. Ackroyd. Thank you for your...
What can I do for you, Doctor?
Thank you.
But in the circumstances, I'm willing to give you the benefit of the doubt.
Good evening.
And good evening.
What do you think of Dr. Ackroyd's...
It's a shame he's so narrow-minded. Dr. Swansea taught me that science is about exploring uncharted territory.
With the influenza and all that's going on, you should put your differences aside, don't you think? Why is it so...
I believe that if Dr. Ackroyd had been the one to discover the transfusion process, he would be the first to recommend its use.
So you believe it's just a question of...
Dr. Ackroyd is as proud as he is blinded.
Tell me more about your willingness.
Harvey Fiddick is a patient suffering from a severe injury that...
What is it you really want? To save him?
Fair question. I want nothing but to save my...
Tell me, Mr. Fiddick.
Our first diagnosis was compromised because Mr. Fiddick lied to...
But why would he hide such crucial information from us?
Because he is a proud father, ashamed of putting his children...
This personal involvement could also...
I agree. But that does not excuse...
Do you think keeping his distance was a mistake?
All I know is that I'm taking care of human beings.
Goodbye, Doc.
This hospital seems to be...
Good evening, Mr. Fiddick.
Good evening, Dr. Reed. Any news?
You seem worried about the safety of...
I cannot give up on my children now. They both need me living.
What about their mother, if I'm...
She died in 1915 during one of the first Zeppelin raids.
Tell me more about the death of your...
1915. I was in the army.
What happened?
The Germans sent Zeppelins to bomb the construction site, but they missed their target. My wife was bringing my dinner when the bombs fell.
How are your children?
They were smaller then. The only good thing...
I'm sorry for your loss. So many died during the bomb.
I would like to say that she didn't suffer. Truth is, I have no idea. I just know that I'm all that me...
Tell me about your injury, Harvey. Why do you feel so...
My wife died because of me.
You can't hold yourself...
Of course I didn't hurt myself. But I can't work until my arm is...
How could your job be responsible?
I was working a double. She went out to...
Goodbye for now.
You always knew the words to calm the children, Ellen. As for me, what a blundering idiot.
I'm quite busy right now, Doctor.
Thank you for...
My sweet girl.
Good evening, Doctor.
And good evening to you, Doctor.
Goodbye, Doctor.
I will not let you down, my Chloe. So many deaths. My sweet girl.
Good evening. I'm Dr. Reed.
No.
Really? Why are you...
I don't want to talk. My throat hurts.
I suppose that this pain is the reason you're here.
Yes.
Could you at least tell me your name, sir?
Mortimer.
Do you need any help?
I'm afraid I may, sir.
You are not a burden, sir. Healing you is my responsibility.
And you have my gratitude for that.
How painful is it?
So painful I'd rather not talk at all, Doctor.
I'm sure you realize a doctor and his patient...
Not really.
I see. Then maybe it's not just your throat.
Yes, maybe. But I don't want to talk.
How painful is your...
So painful I'd rather not talk at all, Doctor.
I'll let you get some rest, then.
I'm all right.
Good evening, Mr. Gos...
I'm okay.
Tell me about yourself.
I don't want to talk, Doctor.
How
So painful I'd rather not talk at all.
I have to...
Good evening, sir. Doctor.
My sweet girl.
Good evening, madam. Can I help you?
It's my son who needs you.
I'm Dr. Jonathan Reed. How can I help your son?
I'm Beatrice Goswick, mother of Mortimer.
What can you tell me about yourself, Mrs. Goswick?
Not much to say. Just take care of my...
Are you really that rich? Most of the patients here are of a more humble origin.
Yes, thanks to my husband. May he rest in peace. I can cover any needed medical
May I ask if you have an occupation, Mrs. Goswick?
I'm a teacher by profession. I teach young women who are more ambitious about their futures than their families.
What do you think of your reception here?
I have had the uttermost reservations about...
Is there something in particular that's bothering you?
Some of the staff were not especially welcoming.
Tell me more about your arrival at the...
The ambulance driver was quite rude, for a start. And that nurse...
What do you mean?
She managed to secure a bed for my son despite the epidemic. It was a relief, but it wasn't cheap.
She charged you for a bed?
Yes, and I paid without question, considering the...
I share your concern, Mrs.
I don't expect compensation, Dr. Reed. But I'm aware such behavior would not be tolerated in other hospitals.
Goodbye, Miss...
Good evening, sir.
Good evening.
Doctor.
Goodbye. Good evening, Miss...
I'm okay.
Why did your mother have you hospitalized here? She seems convinced this is a bad hospital.
My mother just wants the best for me.
Is your mother bothering you? As your doctor?
That's tempting, Doctor. But you have no...
Pembroke Hospital may look unorthodox, but...
It's not me you have to convince, Dr. Reed.
I have to...
Good evening, sir.
Good evening.
I'm okay.
I have to...
I'm all right. Don't waste your time with me.
I will not let you down.
What can I do for you, Doctor?
Thank you.
I'm quite bit...
Thank you. It's locked. Good evening, Nurse Hawkins.
Good evening, Dr. Reed.
Goodbye.
You don't mind if I search your pockets, do you, sir? You won't need any of these anyway. I'm not stealing from you, mister. I'm only redistributing your belongings to people who need them more than you. You see, no one has claimed your body, sir, so it would be such a shame to bury you with your valuables. I will not forget you, sir, and I thank you for your generous donation.
It's locked, all right. Good evening. I'm Dr.
Always a pleasure to meet a colleague, sir. Especially
a colleague. Are you a...
Not anymore, sir. I used to be Dr. Rakesh Chadana.
What do you mean, you used to be a doctor?
No, sir. It is just that I like to be precise.
Please show me what you have to sell.
Of course. It's just trinkets. Tomorrow. Good evening.
Are you afraid or uneasy being surrounded by so many corpses?
Why should I? These bodies are empty vessels. Flesh left to decay. Poof. No soul anymore. All gone.
How did you get this job?
After I left the army, I worked as an undertaker down by...
An interesting point of view. And quite an exotic one, too. Most people fear, or at least...
Sir, as a medic during the war, I left...
Do you work here?
Yes, very easy work, sir. All I have to do is...
Why do you have to watch these bodies?
Because these poor fellows have no names. We keep them in case someone...
Why close the hospital?
It was for sanitary reasons after the beginning of the epidemic. Cadavers had to be moved to the nearest mass grave.
Have we met?
I don't think so, sir.
When we first talked, you said you were glad to meet...
Funny story, sir. Your sister came here a few nights ago.
Goodbye.
It never ceases to amaze me how you...
Good evening.
I'm okay.
Do you need any help?
I'm afraid I may.
You are not...
And you have my grat.
I have...
Good evening, sir. Doctor.
This hospital seems to be falling apart. But in the circumstances,
Good evening, sir.
Unless you're here to fix my face. No.
I'm Dr. Reed. I've recently taken the position...
You guessed right, Doctor. German shell took my...
How is your stay with us?
Oh, it's bliss. I just escaped death and...
Can I ask you precisely why?
It's the pain, sir. The drugs don't work.
Can I do anything?
Nurses gave me a bunch of pills.
Who is treating you? Is someone...
Nobody since the old and tired doctor spoke to me.
You don't seem worried by that.
My face hurts so much more when I smile or cry.
Where were you stationed?
I really don't want to talk about...
No offense. I was pushing to...
You were an officer, weren't you? Then I doubt we fought.
Goodbye.
A giant morgue disguised as a hospital.
Damn. The pain. It's here again.
Good evening, Nurse Hawkins.
Good evening, Dr. Reed.
Goodbye, Nurse Hawkins.
Fear and disgust on every street corner. Daily routine.
Good evening, Mr. Hampton. How do you feel?
Dr. Reed, is it? Oh, sir, I must apologize for my behavior.
What do you mean?
I was not myself in the factory. Fear and exhaustion made me say all...
You remained perfectly nice and polite. A little...
Thank you, Doctor. That's a relief. Now up.
How did you end up...
I had received alarming news about his recent behavior.
Why did he...
William was an alcoholic. His addiction suddenly changed.
You dared to enter this awful place alone.
I'm just a man trying to help his friend.
Do you know Tom Watts, the bartender from the Turtle? I met him before.
Tom? Yes, of course. Always the helping hand. Good up.
Who should I avoid in this part of town, then?
Not really. Most men and women are just doing their best. And it's not my habit to speak ill of people I know.
People are still in dispute.
How could it be otherwise? The authorities have left us all...
What is the general situation in the East?
The situation has always been tough, with a lot of tension.
Who leads the gang now?
Since Clay Cox went missing, it's his wife Edwina who runs the show, with the assistance of her minion, Booth Digby.
Has the gang been threatening you?
Ah, no. I've had this nickname for so long, you know, the sad...
What is the general...
The situation...
What do you do for a living, Mr. Hampton?
I manage a night asylum for the poor and homeless of the docks. And I tried...
Are you a priest, Mr. Hampton? A deacon, maybe?
Not at all, Doctor. I'm just a man of faith, willing to preach the good word.
Why didn't you use your cross against William Bishop? To repel him somehow?
That's a very strange question, Doctor. A cross is no magical token, if that's what you were trying to say. Not mine, anyway.
How do you feel, Mr. Hampton? Medically speaking, I mean.
I feel exhausted. Beyond exhaustion, actually.
You're in good hands here. Dr. Swan's...
Thank you, sir. I believe all I...
Have you made friends since you arrived? You never came to see her here at Pemp...
You're preaching to the converted now, Doctor. To be truly honest.
Goodbye, Mr. Hampton.
Fear and disgust on every street corner.
Good evening, miss. I'm Dr. Reed.
Your name has no meaning to me, mortal. You're nothing but dust blown by the winds of eternity.
I beg your pardon?
What are you begging for, mortal? My clemency? Well, tonight maybe I'm inclined to mercy.
You keep calling me mortal. Why is that?
Well, Dr. Reed, if you must know,
And why do you believe you're a vampire?
I don't need to believe anything. It is what I am.
Please, describe to me how you feel. What is it like?
I can hear my body crumble from the inside as my flesh cracks and fades. I sense the last pulse of postulant blood within my drying veins. I need new blood.
I see. Have you ever heard of Cotard syndrome, Miss Howcroft?
Never.
It's a mental illness discovered by a French neurologist named Jules Cotard. The affected patients are delusional. They believe that they are putrefying, that they are dead, a ghost or a ghoul. Or in your case, a vampire.
Delusional, you say? Oh, sad and petty mortal. You can't even begin to understand the concept of immortality. And you think it is I who am delusional.
I'm assuming you must be a patient here. Am I right, Miss Howcroft?
It's only a cover. To hide from my enemies. I can leave whenever.
Who are these
I cannot say for sure. But I sense their eyes on...
The staff here are not your enemy.
I'm not speaking of the doctors in white. I'm speaking...
I see. Don't worry.
Thank you, mortal. But do not interfere with them, for you are no match for those that hunt me.
Who are you really, Miss Howcroft?
Is that not enough for you, puny mortal?
I'm curious to know who you were before.
No, it was such a long time ago, I don't remember.
I'll leave you, Mistress of the Dark. Good evening, sir. I'm Dr. Jonathan Reed.
I've already heard about you, Dr. Reed. I'm Milton Hooks, the
That's quite a blunt introduction.
You can call me Milton. I like to speak my mind, Dr. Reed.
I'm not sure I understand what you're talking about.
Well, I'm no doctor, but I'm pretty sure a gun can't be used.
You have a keen eye. I learned to shoot during the...
No need to explain, Dr. Reed.
How is the
You want to hear the situation is all right? It's fucked.
Are you really smuggling weapons through the hospital?
And why not? I've already been attacked by a patient.
But you're not defending yourself. You're selling guns.
You keep people alive your own way, Doctor. I offer them enough.
So what do you do exactly in this hospital?
I've been an ambulance driver since... too long ago.
Since you're on the front line,
It's a complete disaster. It's even...
It sounds like things have been a bit...
Yesterday I got attacked by the patient I was bringing in.
You left an infected patient outside the hospital?
Go there yourself if you want, but be careful, Doctor. I'd rather...
Why do you have such a mediocre reputation among your...
Fuck them. Nobody knows the horrors I've seen since...
I know it's a difficult task, but correct me...
I've seen babies left to die while their brothers were properly fed.
I'm sorry, I don't...
Yeah, exactly. We lack words.
I'd like...
Wise choice, Dr. Reed. A reliable...
Good evening, nurse.
Good evening, Doctor.
Why does Dr. Tippett claim you're the main...
If it wasn't for him, I probably...
Dr. Tippett does not think of you as just a nurse.
If you're suggesting he's not taking my gender into consideration...
Goodbye, nurse. I cannot enter.
What happened?
It's locked, all right. This must be the place. It's definitely away from prying eyes. Relegated to the shadows. A kingdom of my own. At least I won't be sleeping in a coffin. The flower's dying. It needs water.